What is going on, traders? What an absolutely amazing day. I hope you guys made money because we have been absolutely crushing it in the Discord and we're going to continue to do so. And I have to say, I really have to say this. Things within the tech sector of the stock market are looking spectacular. It's almost looking too good to be true. Like way too good to be true. I'm going to be honest. But in this video, we're not going to play devil's advocate, at least not for this video. All right. We're going to focus on the good stuff. And the good stuff is absolutely bullish. Now, before I jump the gun, I have to say we're looking at the NQ daily time frame. And for me to be extremely bullish, all right, for me to be like to the moon, okay, if we close above this daily supply and demand zone right here at around 20,160 on NQ, pack your bags, leave the wife, leave the kids, take the fruit snacks, take the Capri Suns, take the dog with you because we're going to the moon. All right, it's going to get crazy. And so if we do just so happen to close above the supply and demand zone on a daily time frame, then I'm looking at a price target of 20,800. Now, obviously there will be targets before then, so we'll say 20,300, 20,500. But my max target on the NQ will be 20,800, given that we just so happen to close this daily candle above the supply and demand zone. And ironic enough, we talked about this in about 2 videos ago about where this 20,800 level is. It's right where this red trend line is. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm not going to get deep into what this red trend line represents, but just know that it's ironic enough that it's right where these guys are. And this was where our previous highs were. So if we get back up here, we may see some type of rejection. We may pump to the upside. Like I said, we're going to focus on the good stuff here. So 20,800 is my target. Mark the supply and demand zone on your charts because I'm telling you now, if this daily candle closes here, we're going to the moon. Simple as that. The next few days or week or so is going to be absolutely bullish. All right, so that's what I'm focused on the NQ. This is what I will be watching on the NQ. I encourage you to do the same. We look at the ES. ES is looking immaculate as well. Right now, my price target, well, I told you guys about my price target on the ES before. I said 5,800 is one of my targets. We're pretty much there, so we'll just say, yeah, yay, we won. But the next target I'm looking at is about 5,850. But at this point, I see no reason why the ES can't see 6,000. I just don't. Given that the NQ does close above that level, and if the ES just pumps a little bit more and and actually claims, I wouldn't say reclaim, but claims 5,800, we're definitely going to see possibly somewhere close to that 6,000 target, which again will be towards this red trend line around this area. I would say minimum probably 5,950, but regardless, ES looks absolutely amazing. I have nothing bad to say. You guys see it here. We broke above this broadening wedge. We have a low here, higher low here. We broke out. I mean, it's super clean breakout. You rejected here, you rejected here, and then you finally gapped up and broke out. Nothing bad to say about the ES. If NQ takes off, then obviously I think the ES is going to take off as well. And so we look at the triple Qs. And so this is what really has me a little bit hyped here. I said in the Discord that if triple Qs just so happens to claim 484, we can actually look because I believe I did mention it in the Discord um, here. And so here it is. So if triple Qs can hold 484, we're going to 490. So you guys know I don't make this stuff up. And I truly believe that's going to happen at this point. We reclaimed 484. We broke above 484. I mean, the Bulls have stepped in massively here. You're constantly seeing that any dip that was happening within the tech side or the triple Qs, it's constantly been being bought up by the Bulls. They keep buying every dip we get. I mean, you see it here. You see tons of rejection. Hopefully, you guys can see these wicks, but you keep seeing these rejections from the downside, and Bulls just continue to step in. And now that we have claimed 484 and we closed at about 485.3, give or take, I think we're going to easily start heading towards that 490 level. And ironic enough, 490s is right where this gap is over here. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this, but right here is what we're looking at as our target between 493 and 496. So I think this move is going to happen. Can it happen this week? I think that's very much possible. At least 490 minimum, but highest I'm looking at right now is about 493, 496, give or take. Now, you guys know that my all-time high targets for the triple Qs, if we just so happen to see it anytime soon, would be 510. Now, I've been calling 510 before the previous highs, which is all the way back here, and we got to 503. But if we just so happen to, if the market decides to break higher, then I do believe 510 will be the target next. I think that goes without saying because if we break above 503, I mean, it's pretty obvious we're going to head to 510. And so that's what I'm looking at in regards to the triple Qs. We look at the SPY. SPY, I mean, absolutely beautiful. We have this ascending triangle. We've been talking about this for quite some time on this channel about breaking this ascending triangle. We talked about it all the way back here when I said this seems like an obvious bear trap. And behold, it ended up being an absolute bear trap. And so we have our low here, higher low here. We have a flat top here, thus making us an ascending triangle. We have our confirmation of a break. Now, I would like to see a much better break, I guess, for lack of better wording, a more convincing break, I would say. But again, bulls continue to buy any dip we see in regards to the market or in regards to the triple Qs in the SPY. And we see it here. Every time we dip, bulls brought it back up. And so my target for the SPY is 580. You guys know that's one of my all-time high targets, and highest I'm looking at is about 600. Now, I don't know if 600 is going to happen anytime soon, but I do imagine it's going to happen sometime by the end of this year, if not this month. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at in regards to the SPY. But beautiful, beautiful break here. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better setup. Bulls continue to step in. I mean, we go down to the 4 hour time frame, and it is still just I can't find anything wrong with this. Okay, on the 4 hour time frame, it actually looks a lot more convincing. I have to say. I mean, you have a solid break here. You have tons of volume on this break here, and then you see that bull stepped in on this dip, and then anytime we dipped after this area, we continue to see bull step in. And so all we need is some huge engulfing candle, and from there on, it's to the moon. Simple as that. All right, so we look at Bitcoin. So we've been talking about Bitcoin for quite some time here, and I've been bullish on Bitcoin. I told you that one of my targets is 65K, and after that, I'm looking at a move to 67K. And we talked about Bitcoin since this move right here, since this pattern right here, which is this rising three method, where you have a huge engulfing candle, and then you have three bearish candles that are about similar in size. Then you have another bullish engulfing candle, and we talked about this. I said Bitcoin is going to break out, and as soon as I mentioned this, like literally after that video, Bitcoin breaks out and goes absolutely ballistic. And so I think Bitcoin is going to continue higher. I think the price target here is 65K. We're pretty much close to that target, but after that, I'm looking at a move to 67K. I wouldn't be surprised Bitcoin goes higher. Am I looking at all-time highs for Bitcoin? Not quite there yet. I would like to see a move at least above 70K, but for now, we're going to focus on our first two targets, which is 65K and 67K. I have nothing bad to say about Bitcoin. And so we look at coin. And so, congratulations to Discord members who jumped into Coin with me. Absolutely beautiful play. We did, what did we do? We did 180 calls, I believe. Yeah, so we did 180. Yeah, here it is. So we did 180 calls for October 4th. We jumped in Bitcoin. I mean, not Bitcoin, coin at around, I want to say 168, 167. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Somewhere around that range. But regardless, this play is absolutely up. 180 calls for October 4th. I was waiting for the options chain to really show love to coin because I was absolutely bullish on coin. And so, yeah, you see it right here as well. Pretty much double down on it. And coin looks great. All right, coin looks absolutely great. We're currently in profit. Right now, it's up about was up at 171.7 after hours. So we'll see if that holds. But coin looks absolutely amazing. I mean, we go to the 4 hour time frame here. We zoom out. Let's actually get rid of this. I don't have my fair value gaps up because I really wanted to focus on just how beautiful everything looks. Just naked, right? So things look great in regards to coin. I mean, I think at this point that coin, if granted Bitcoin keeps pumping, I think coin can easily see a target between 190 and 200. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen this week, and I don't know where that would put Bitcoin, but I do imagine that coin is going to head much higher, especially considering that whales are starting to really pay attention to coin or starting to trade coin. We saw the highest target so far was about 185 strike on the options chain. And so we see that coin has broken this trend here. You see a rejection here, you see a rejection here, you see somewhat of a rejection here, and then it finally broke out. And right now it's just pretty much hugging the top of this. Well, actually, it's not hugging, but it's pretty much rejecting the support level or the supply and demand zone down here. And if we zoom in, we see that coin has, I don't know if you guys can see this wick, but pretty much rejected. We saw somewhat of a dip earlier today, and then it rejected both this supply and demand zones here, and then we have a bullish engulfing candle. And so right here is pretty much what prompted me to enter in coin. Yeah, we entered around 168, and then we have a bullish engulfing candle. I think coin is going to continue to head higher. If coin can just get above 175, we'll say 175.2, this thing is going to go absolutely parabolic. And so that's another thing that I'm looking at. And so, oh, and one more thing. It's very liquid right here. So in this area, if coin can get in this area above, again, 175.2, very liquid, we're going to move fast. All right, we're going to move very fast. Let's actually look at the daily time frame, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, even the daily time frame, very liquid all the way to about 190. So if we can just break out of this area, down here where all these bears are, if we could stop them out of their positions, coin is going to go crazy. All right, it's going to go absolutely crazy. So we're still in this play. I forgot to give the option to take profit, but it may come out to be a blessing. I'm hoping it comes out to be a blessing. But if we can break out of this area, coin is going to go absolutely insane. So congratulations to Discord members that are in this play. We're currently in profit. I have no worries. This thing is going to head much higher. And so let's talk about semiconductors here. And so in my last video, I was telling you guys, we could actually look at the semiconductor ETFs real quick. But in my last video, I was telling you guys that we noticed that semiconductors are taking turns, right? In regards to breaking out. We saw ABG, we saw ABGO break out. We saw um, MU breakout. We saw SMCI breakout. We saw AMD breakout. And they weren't all breaking out at once. We were seeing them pretty much take turns. Now, SMCI and MU were kind of like in the same boat in regards to breaking out. But we're seeing them take turns, and then we finally see Nvidia breakout. And so I told you guys for quite some time here, I want to say 2, 3 videos, that I think SMH is going to head towards the 250 level, and highest it can obviously head to is about 260, but we'll talk about that in another video if we get close to that target. But we have a low here, higher low here. We could call this somewhat of a double bottom, and then our neckline would be all the way around the 252, 253 area. And then we have a fair value gap. It's a fair value gap all the way in the 260s. Again, I don't have my fair value gaps, but it's definitely one up here. And then you have a regular gap all the way at the 270s range. And so I think SMH is going to head to the 250s here. We look at SOXX. So congratulations to Discord members who got into the long-term play in regards to SOXX, and pretty much added to our long-term position here. And so SOXX, if SOXX can get above 220, well, 220, if it can close and open above 227.2, we'll say 227.5 to be safe. I think SOSX is going to head higher, and my target for that will be 235. You see here, you have a low here, higher low here. You're trying to break out of the supply and demand zone. I think we're going to easily gap up above this area probably tomorrow. If we don't gap up, then I still think we're going to break out of this area here pretty easy. And then from there, I think SOXX is going to head towards that 235 target. I wouldn't even be surprised if it heads much higher than that. And so we're looking at a lot of bullish moves across the tech side of the market. We look at Nvidia. I told you guys that at some point in time, Nvidia is going to break out. And I mean, look at it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You couldn't ask for a better setup here. So congratulations to Discord members for taking this trade as well and actually being patient. Okay. I don't make this stuff up. I don't force anything. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I told you guys about this cup and handle, head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it, regardless. You possibly have a shoulder here, head here, shoulder here. And then if you want to say this is a cup and handle, I wouldn't even say you're wrong with that. You have a cup here, you have a handle here. Let's actually mark this handle a little bit better, but you will have a handle here, and I mean, look what happens. It hugs the handle, and then boom, you get a huge bullish engulfing candle. So congratulations to Discord members for taking this trade as well. I think Nvidia is going to head to 123. Highest I'm looking at is about 126, 127 range, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. If it gets up here, and I want to, let's actually go to the daily time frame so we can get a better picture of what I'm looking at here. But if Nvidia can just break out of the symmetrical triangle to the upside, I mean, pack your bags, guys. This thing is going to go ballistic. More importantly, is what's happening here. Okay. If we can break out of this area right here, if we can just really, really, I mean, if we can just destroy these guys right here, Nvidia is going to go insane. Okay. I'm not counting on that happening anytime soon, but if it does, I mean, that insanity will happen. Okay. So I will really watch for this move. I will watch for a break above the 130s on Nvidia. This thing can easily head to 150 if this whole move just happens. Okay. If we break out these, if we stop these guys at their position here, and if we break out of the symmetrical triangle, start packing. Seriously, start packing. It's going to get crazy. All right. We look at a stock like MU. Now, MU does have earnings tomorrow at close, but I mean, MU looks really good. I said in the Discord, I believe I said in the Discord in the last video, probably in the Discord, but regardless, I said if MU closes above 94, then it's going to head to 100, 102. I still think that's going to happen. And again, keep in mind, they have earnings tomorrow. Now, I personally hate trading MU. It's so frustrating to trade, but I can't deny what it looks like. It looks absolutely bullish. As you guys can see, it broke out of this falling wedge here. You see it here, you rejected here, you bounced here, you bounced here, you rejected here, and then you pretty much are breaking out. All right, you break out, and then we want to see MU get above 98, but 94 still great thing to break. I mean, it was a really tough level to break. And so I think MU is going to have no trouble seeing 100, 102, and most likely that's probably going to happen for his earnings. All right. I would be really surprised if MU just crashes for his earnings. That would really be surprising. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But again, it's MU. I personally hate trading things, so you do what you want with this information. Bullish on MU. You look at an SMCI. And so I showed you guys in the last video, we made an absolute crazy bag on FMCI. I mean, I made like 3K off the play, and I'm sure a lot of Discord members absolutely killed it. But SMCI, I mean, and I erased everything on SMCI simply because I wanted you guys to focus on what I'm seeing here. We have us, let's actually map it out here. We have a cup and handle on SMCI. Boom. And then you have your break. All right. So you have a beautiful cup and a handle on SMCI. Not only do you have a cup and handle, but you have an inverted hammer pattern. So I think SMCI is going to go ballistic. Now, I don't know if MU earnings is going to be the cause of that or what will cause this, but I do think SMCI is going to head to the 500s pretty soon. If not 500s, maybe 480, but 530 is definitely my target for SMCI. There's a lot of fair value gaps to the upside here. There's one around this area right here, and then you have another one at the 550s, and then you have another one all the way in the 600s. Now, I'm not going to say SMCI is going to see 600, but I definitely think SMCI is going to see 500. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. We can actually just go really deep into this. I mean, we don't have to because I don't pay too much attention to SMCI, but starting to add it to my watch list simply off that trade. But as you guys can see, we broke trend as well. We rejected here, and now we're breaking out. We have our cup and handle, breaking out the cup and handle. I mean, what more do you want at this point? It's absolutely diabolical. Again, everything is looking absolutely bullish. Too good to be true. All right, really too good to be true. And so let's look at Google. I know this is not a semiconductor, but I really want to look at Google simply because we are in a trade in Google. And so one thing I pointed out with Google is that worst case scenario, it does see a move to the 160s between 160 159. It got pretty close to 160. It was like 160.8 or something like that, somewhere around there. But regardless, I think Google is going to, when it takes off, it's going to go berserk. All right. You go to the 4 hour time frame, and Google looks absolutely amazing. You see right here in this area. So hopefully you guys can see this. Let's actually get rid of this because it's kind of distracting. But right here in this area right here, you see a lot of turbulence. And so this is what Google is fighting against, this turbulence over here. But I have no doubt in my mind that Google is going to break out of this area. And when it does, pack your bags. It's going to get absolutely crazy. And so if Google can break out of here, next target will be 165 and then 167.5. But there are fair value gaps all the way in the 180s in regard to Google. So given if the NASDAQ does go to 20,800, I imagine Google will have no issue seeing 170 between 170 and 180. No problem at all. And so My overall point here is that things look really, really good. I mean, really, really good to the upside. And so we're going to enjoy it while it's here. I have nothing bad to say about the market right now. Things are looking good. We have news Thursday and Friday. So if you are interested in trading anything I'm talking about, I would say really put some dates behind your contracts, get some dated contracts. I'm straying away from doing anything for this week simply because we have news Thursday and Friday and it's just cutting it too close. But regardless, if you are interested in anything we're trading, join the Discord. Discord link is in the description below. It's We've been on a tear lately, and I'm going to continue to provide value. I'm going to continue to provide the wins, and we're going to keep this thing going. Again, thanks for the support. Thanks for the positive messages from Discord members, from social media, everything. And until the next video, traders, have a good one.